Goals and expectations for spring of 2016 are pretty simple. We're not a results-driven program. Our goal is to be a unified team. So we want to communicate, we want to work with each other, and we want to compete together as best as possible, as we know that will create peak performance. On our men's team, we have a lot of key returners this year. Our senior captain, Doug Kaplan, he'll most likely be playing one singles. Barring health and injury, I expect him to have a good year. Will Samuels and Jack Rothman, sophomores. Will Samuels is also a sophomore captain. They had great years last year. Vasant Rajamanakam from Florida. He was one of our best doubles players last year as a freshman, and I expect him to continue on that path as well. Key returners for the women's team is almost our entire roster. But our top two players are returning from last year, Nicole Russo and CJ Rummelsberg. They were first and second team respectively last year for singles. Sarah Haas is a sophomore. I think she's going to have a much better season. She's definitely matured, I think, as an athlete. Tara Buckney, one of our juniors, I think she's primed to have another very solid season. Emily Gruenberg, a senior captain. She's been consistent since her freshman year. I think she'll continue on that path. And Allie Brees from Arizona, I think is playing the best tennis that I've seen her play since I've known her. So I think she could be a possible surprise. Our key loss from the men's team last year, we had one senior graduating, Nolan Bakary. He was a captain. He almost went undefeated in conference play. He was 8-1 in singles and 9-0 in doubles, so that's pretty tough to replace. But I think with some of the fresh talent we brought in, we'll do our best possible. Two key losses for the women's team last year were Megan Fitzmaurice and Dana Sleeper. They were our team captains. Megan was a single starter, Dana a double starter. They did an incredible job last year of leading the team and leading the program and just creating a unified unit. And I think that's the toughest part to replace, is the leadership that they brought to the program. On the men's team, we have three freshmen that I expect to make large contributions. Zach Levin, I expect him to play pretty high in the singles and doubles lineup. Inigo Flores is a junior transfer from Spain. If he's able to acquire some decent health, he could play high in the lineup for both singles and doubles as well. We also have a freshman from Italy, Giovanni Corrado. I expect him to make contributions lower in the singles lineup, but I do see him as one of our strongest competitors on the court as well. Key freshmen on our women's side are Alex Collins and Gabrielle Rubenstein. We also had a walk-on make the team this year from China. Her name's Emma Wu. Alex and Gav I see affecting our lineup, definitely in doubles, possibly in singles for both. And Emma, with continued improvement, might start seeing some playing time mid to late in the season. I think our preseason has been going well. We've had a little over a week of practice, so still early to tell. I think once we get into the grit part of our season, playing matches, we'll definitely know, because there's a lot of young talent on our teams. I'm really happy with how we've been practicing and how the team has been communicating with each other and getting along well. So I think that's a good sign. But I'm most excited to see what these teams are capable of. Our key matchups are pretty consistent from the men's and women's side. Non-conference wise, Christopher Newport, Mary Washington, and Salisbury are probably going to be our three toughest matches. They're all regionally ranked. Mary Washington is nationally ranked on both the men's and women's side, I believe. But I think those will be great tests for our teams to see where they're at and to see what our freshman talent is capable of. Looking at our conference schedule, Johns Hopkins is expected to probably be the toughest match, as they have been since I've been at F&M. Washington College is definitely the most improved program over the last couple of years within our conference. I expect both of those matches to be tough. Haverford on both sides is always a good matchup, as well as Swarthmore. So those are our key in-conference matchups. Some other key changes in the program this year. My longtime assistant coach, Mike DiCarlo, decided to resign to spend more time with his family, as he has an 11-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter. So I respect the decision he made, and I appreciate his commitment to the program, as well as his friendship and mentorship to me over the last 5 or 6 years. I'd also like to welcome our new assistant coach, Sally Allen, who is a former student athlete at Franklin and Marshall College and played under the leadership of our athletic director, Patty Epps. She has a lot of experience as a high school coach, and I think she's going to be able to help me as well as the program continue to grow and build in the right direction.